for Twitter.
I'm going to move on to the next story. So in this episode, we've got two very spicy restaurant chains that have been they've been subjected to this breach. So I'm going to start off with Five Guys Enterprises, and they announced a data breach impacting personal data of job applicants. So on December 29th, Five Guys Enterprises LLC filed notice of a data breach with the various attorney general offices across the country after learning about a cyber attack that compromised confidential information related to the individuals who applied to work for the company. Based on the company's official filing, the incident resulted in an unauthorized party gaining access to job applicants' full names, social security numbers, driver license number, and financial account information.
And socials.
And double down on that. She did say that.
You did? And socials.
Say it twice, say it twice.
Okay, yeah, and social and pant size and shoe size apparently. So anyway, comments, thoughts, because I got a lot of comments about Five Guys.
Good burgers.
Yeah, so I like Five Guys. They have a reputation for being very expensive. Evidently applying for a job there is also costly.
Yeah, I mean, here to that point, I mean, you try to get a job to pay the bills, and the next thing you know, your identity's stolen, your bank account's drained, and if you read the article, their repercussion was sending letters out. So, I mean, very costly job application, and the response is, here's a letter saying you might be breached, that you might get 45 days later.
I think this is a clear case where they're gonna have a class action. The class action is gonna win, and by the end of it, they'll be able to afford eating at Five Guys.
Five Guys is giving away information like to give away fries.
Yeah.
They don't give away prize though.
That's a fair trade.
$1.
Dude, that's the move. But I'm talking a little bit about, like, it's based in Virginia, right? So I believe that that's one of the states that has kind of like come around. They have not.
Oh,
Okay.
Virginia, I don't think they're doing anything with data breaches. They're certainly not disclosing them publicly. So we probably heard about this from like Montana. Like, yeah, surprise to everyone. Like, Montana is the one state pioneering like data breach disclosure. So if you aren't up on that, Montana's like, yeah, if you expose a single Montanan, then you have to disclose it. And so that they're the ones that announce who's been breached. So I'm sure it was like Five Guys in Bozeman.
Hannah, Montana is not safe. Just
I'll spell that.
you're a dad.
That was real bad. Yeah. Frank, what do you think? Como se dice Five Guys?
It would be like cinco muchachos.
Cinco, but for Amber Gesa.
Yeah.
This is saddening to me. I mean, I've been told they are very good.
You know, they're kind of like burger joint over in Palermo, Soho.
Yeah, burger
But they are not here, so I've never tried that. I can only hope they don't get hit too hard for this. At least not before I try their burgers. But speaking seriously, speaking of big fines, I'm sure Five Guys can take it. But many companies get in serious trouble dodging hacks and disruptions, mainly related to production. You know, a German electric bike manufacturer named Profit faced bankruptcy a couple of weeks ago after many weeks of insolvency due to cyber attacks paralyzing their production. Yeah, I know this is not the case, but an avalanche of fines and lawsuits can be hard to dodge as well.
Yeah, it's a good point. Most small businesses, maybe not most, but a lot of small businesses that are breached go out of business. So this can be a catastrophic event. I don't think that'll happen to Five Guys, but it is a concern. But I think, you know, with Five Guys being breached, that's bad. But it's really bad for the people that apply,
Mhm.
right? And I question why socials, driver's license numbers, and bank account information was one required to apply for a job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's kind of weird,
Yeah.
yeah.
And two, all kept in a place hackers could access. So
Yeah.
I don't know any of the details, but I've never really heard of a breach where job applicants have had that level of detail required or exposed. And so I find that interesting. I think we'll probably see a class action lawsuit. We'll learn more about this ongoing. You know, the victim here is clearly just the job applicant, right? You want to work somewhere, you apply for a job, you assume your information is going to be safe, and then a hacker gets in and steals all of it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks because that kind of information really is tallied with like your HR accounts or, you know, like documentation regarding that. I don't think I've ever really used social security numbers or driver license numbers to apply for a job. So one part makes me wonder if it's because like they offer delivery. I that's just a thought.
I've put social and driver's license number on a job application. I've never given them my bank
Yeah.
account.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, it might be including people that have gotten actually hired
Yeah.
as well. It has to be a mix.
the HR system should
Yeah.
be separate, right? Like,
Absolutely.
like I don't have anyone's driver's license number and I don't want it,
Yeah.
Right.
right? So that's weird.
Agreed.